It's still Red October, Mike. The Phillies are still in the playoffs. Pitching. And we sort of knew that, and I think a few years ago the Phillies saw that when they got beat by the Colorado Rockies in the first round, that they got beat by superior pitching, and they really have geared their teams because hitting can let you down. I think the long layoff between the series because of TV really affects the Phillies hitting, and they started to come around after Game 2 when they beat the Giants to tie the series.
Everybody worries about these long layoffs for these pitchers. Well, how did they had a long layoff and pitched a no-hitter? I think the layoffs and the staggered sort of schedule. I think you're right. I think that affects the hitters, and it's such a precise timing thing. And now you're seeing, and this is so evident when you watch these games. You're seeing closer to top-line pitching all the time.
Yeah.
And you have certain guys who have pretty good offensive numbers during the week, the day-in, day-out grind of the regular season, who can't handle this high-quality pitching. And then you see other guys who maybe surprise you a little bit with their ability. But anyway, you're right. In this time of year, when you're facing really top-level pitching all the time, hitting is really a wild card factor.
And the Phillies have a couple of those guys. Everybody likes to pick on Ryan Howard, who's a phenomenal hitter, power hitter. We have a guy on our staff, Jeff Rubenthal, that's on this guy's case all the time. He is one of these guys that's really about timing. One of the things I was really impressed with was he had a couple of swings where he was chasing a little bit and he slowed himself down, tried to keep his shoulder in. And both times when he sort of stepped back in the batter's box and sort of recomposed himself,
right,
he got hits.
Yeah, he's thinking the right way. There's no doubt about it. The hits that he's had have been kind of up the middle or opposite ways. So, he's thinking about it the right way, but he's not hot. He's not driving the ball. It's not really happening for him, and maybe it will.
I think he's getting there.
We believe that there's a lot of postseason to go because I believe the Phillies are going to win this series.
And I think it starts. Oswalt pitched great on Sunday. Now it comes back. I think Hamels is going to set the tone. He's been pitching very well.
Been fabulous.
If he gets the win tonight, you feel it's going to really start steamrolling things.
I
do.
Phillies. I really think the Phillies become overwhelming favorites if he wins tonight. The Game 3 is in a best-of-7 series is always a pivotal game in any sport. Game 3 is a pivotal game. But I think particularly in this case, I think it will start to creep into the Giants' head that we really are playing a better team, which is a reality. They are playing a better team. And I think it turns a little bit, even though the pitching matchup in Game 4 may be the least favorable of the entire series for the Phillies, I still really give the Phillies the edge if they can do it tonight.
Giants have a rookie out there that's going to go a left-hander. What's his name?
Mason Bumgarner.
Or
is it Morgan Bumgarner?
Something with an M. Madison Square Garden Bumgarner. Something.
We don't know him, and the Phillies don't know him, which I think is the crucial point.
That's
left-hander that the Phillies have never seen
They have
before.
done very poorly in the last several years when it's a young rookie left-hander especially.
That's Game 4 now. That's Joe Blanton against this rookie. That's a game
Joe Blanton has held himself up pretty well in the playoffs, but you don't know. He's been off for a while, too.
I'm fine with Blanton.
So, I look at that as an interesting aspect of this. I think what's going to be interesting is the Giants have already shuffled the lineup. Aaron Rowan's taken over in center field for Torres, who's had 4 strikeouts.
Just not hitting at all. Just horrible.
But
they're not a very good offensive team.
There's some interesting thoughts with Rowan. He's batting .230 on the year, 200 against Hamels lifetime, 3 for 15. But the interesting thing with Rowan, he's a leader. He was a leader when he played for the Phillies, and he's still a leader now, even though he doesn't have as prominent of a role. There's a reason why Torres was starting, is because he was doing better than Rowan before the postseason started. Giants are 45-31 in the games that Rowan played in this year. Well, so there's something about him when he's on that field with that team.
There may be something about him, but let's not get carried away with that because there were a lot of people who thought it was a terrible mistake for the Phillies to let Aaron Rowan go because of his positive intangibles. It seems to have worked out okay.
It's working out well. One more stat I'm going to throw your way. The winner of Game 1 of the NLCS has gone on to make the World Series 15 the last 17 years. So it'll be interesting to see the Phillies lost Game 1, but because I think they're so used to this postseason and really such a veteran club.
I think that's a stat that I think the psychology that comes into play with that does not apply to this situation.
It was interesting to see in Game 2 how the Phillies hammered it down. It's like, all right, you got one bias because Cody Ross had hit 2 mistake pitches by Halladay. They have no other offense, the Giants, so far in this series. They've shown nothing.
But again, it's 2 baseball games, so you can't get carried away with any of it. But I really like the Phillies' chances.
Rollins, we want to bring him up real quick. The way he played with that hit, the double, is that going to get him rolling?
Well, we've seen it happen in the past where he gets one good big hit and click, and he can carry and really have an impact. And you can see him doing that for the next couple weeks. If you're a Phillies fan, you hope that's going to happen.
Yep.